Alrighty, here we are. Hey, Bancho. Let go. Okay, I don't know what to expect from this. It's been a little bit hyped up, I guess, and I'm trying to just not create any expectations, but just dive right into it. Yep. I think everything is looking fine, so... Hey, Chidrin. In terms of audio and stuff, and you being able to see the game, because I had to do some very different settings for this one, so if there's anything wrong technically, just speak now or forever keep your peace. Anyway, let's see. Our confession. Good morning. Even though the farewell party is over, you are still here? Yeah, apparently we are. Since it's you, the one who kept us company for so long, I think it might be fine to show you even this. Alright. What will the difficulty level be? That depends on Beatrice's love. Whatever might that mean. Hmm.
お嬢様、ドラノール様がお越しになりました。
これはたかだか筋書きの確認をするだけのために異端審問官のそれも首席がお越しになるとは。大法院はよほどの暇か人余りと見える。
私が立ち会いを命じられるほどに。あなたのゲームが複雑難解かつ見事なものであるとお思いいただきたいものです。
世辞はいらぬ。座るがよい。ロノウェ、首席殿に甘い紅茶とクッキーの用意を。
かしこまりました。
結構です。それより早速拝見させていただきたいです。あなたが紡ぐ新しきゲームの筋書き
を。よかろうとも。大筋はできている。物語としての就職はまだまだ途中だがな。
Hi, Kevin. Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. So yeah, we're on the very last pieces of it, I guess. Beato pushed her way through a pile of manuscripts on top of her desk and pulled out a single bundle. How have you been, by the way? Hope things are going alright with you? Long time no see. It was the manuscript for the new game. Revised countless times with various notes and tabs attached, it emanated a kind of dignified presence. Delonor gave a bow and accepted it. Then, amidst the tea vapors as Ronoa set the table, she turned over the front cover. Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's see.
今回のゲームには何という名を？
まだない。わらわはいつも物語を完全に書き終えて最後に名を考えるのでな。
了解です。
Oh, bunch. A good one.
それでは早速拝読させていただきます。
Not to mention that the Tsubasa streams we did on Discord are not counted in these 91 parts, so yeah. It's been forever.
楽得と言いたいところですが、見事に整えられた物語となってからの所読となれないことが残念
です。
それがデバッガーの気の毒なところよ。
Science is sciencing? Found a way to stop forgetting, possibly. Okay. Aww. I'm rooting for you. Imagine me with the pom-poms cheering for you. I'm sure things are gonna be alright. Take them day by day, you know, as usual, step by step. And yeah, I'm all good. things are pretty chill and fun. We're going through this Umineko journey. We've been going through it for over a year already. It's been a year and a few weeks, I guess. Yeah, about 2 weeks. And we have today and basically next time story. Then we're gonna play a fighting game based on Umineko, which I don't know what to expect of, but it's been hyped up, so let's see. And after that we will go on a new journey with a different story. That's pretty much the plan. Hey Matchan! But yeah, life is it's pretty chill. Work is work. Sometimes not as fun, but it's alright. We go through the day, and then I come and sit here with you, or I sit with my lovely person, or I just, I don't know, find something that I love, and things are good. The days end on a good note, which is more than I could ask for. Yeah. The unfortunate side of being a playtester. Okay, Delanor is playtesting Beatrice's scenario. Yes, there is a fighting game based on this novel. Bancho was only half joking. A few replies above.
今回も実に複雑回帰な事件のようです。これが物語に昇華されたらどのようなものになるのか本当に楽しみです。
政治は良い。
I love Delanor's voice so much. She's so
さっさとページをめくれ。わらわはまるで原稿を持ち込み編集者を前にした新米漫画家のような気持ちであるぞ。
Beato made a roguish smile? I think that's what it is. And Delanor returned the same expression. Delanor had in her hands the so-called unfinished manuscript. Now, it was truly an unformed thing on its way to becoming a manuscript, with a plot in the middle of its construction mixed in. If we were to use Beato's style of speech, it's just as if it was the milky form of ice cream before it was frozen. No, it's probably even less complete than that. It's still egg yolk, milk, and raw cream cast into a bowl and at the height of its mixing stage.
まさに物語の卵です。
The egg of a tale, and Delanor with glasses. So cute!
これをあなたは時間をかけてじっくりと温め、孵化させるのです。
Aww.
できることならそなたには見事なアイスクリームとして完成してから賞味させたかったのであるがな。
もちろんそれが最高です。しかし、これはこれでおつなものとも思っています。
Because, even if it's in an incomplete state now, the recipe is still exposed. We can see the precious other side of it, the side we could never see from a completed story. Those able to see this are only the witch who wrote the tale herself and the very few observers she allows. This is the unfinished manuscript, in a muddy chaos soup state before it becomes ice cream. In fact, it's missing the narrative development characteristic of a story. It's not even complete as any kind of reading material. However, even so, the endless witch Beatrice's secret recipe, yet discerned by no one, is recorded upon it. To a chef, their recipes and their kitchen are sacred ground. To desecrate that is the greatest sacrilege. However, for those who admire delicacies, it is also the forbidden honey that no one can resist. This is not an example of one of Beato's interests, but we could instead say it's an example of one of Federine's. From here on, what is recorded is the cat's guts. Okay. From here on, turning the pages means splitting the cat's stomach open and killing it. What? Thank you for that imagery, I guess. To love the cat, then kill it and enjoy it again. Those were Berncastle's words, but they were originally uttered by Federine. So I inquire of thee, dost thou kill the cat, or not? The ancient featherin has regretted splitting the stomachs off and killing thousands of tails. And in the relationship of irreversibility between knowing and not knowing, she even likened not knowing to that of noble virginity. Thus, I ask you again, does thou kill the cat or not? Ah. Beyond lies the inside of the cat's stomach. I mean, I don't want to kill the cat. Let's end stream here. Good night. Goodbye. This has been me for 10 minutes. The Zekutos of the world can pick not to kill it. I don't particularly feel inclined either, but if we're here, I guess, yeah, this is... Oh god. Great stream, let's leave. Oh yeah, roll the credits, we're done. Don't first. Ah, there's different different outcomes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And this is voice acting. Okay, sorry about that. And that's it. Good ending, yes! Let's pull down the curtains, roll the credits. Good night and goodbye. Thank you so much. But the thing is, what do I do now? I think I have to... you cannot unlock last note unless you really do this. So... But the thing is, I think I would have to read through that again, right? Because I don't have a save point. And to be honest, I don't know how to make saves in this. Because I've never done that. Can I fast forward a bit? Control through it? You don't understand. Okay. Yeah, like this. Here we are. Okay, okay. I found the button. It's not really bound to my keyboard. It's complicated. Yeah, okay. I guess we do. Oh my god. Accomplices. This time let's make Kraus and Natsuhi into accomplices. But Natsuhi has a lot of pride, so even if I flashed an enormous sum of money in front of her, it's hard to imagine that she'd easily be partner to a dreadful incident. With regards to that problem, I'll have to corner her so she has no place to run and no margin for options. After the typhoon starts, I'll secretly guide Kraus and Natsuhi to the underground VIP room, reveal the bomb trigger and threaten them. If they refuse, everyone dies. If they cooperate, those not sacrificed to the epitaph can come back alive. All means to connect the island to the outside have already been completely cut off. They have no way to resist. October 4th, past dusk. The rain and wind are getting stronger. The typhoon is already enveloping the island in earnest. Natsuhi stood frozen in front of the wide open entrance to the secret underground staircase and the darkness beyond. Beato said that with a composed smile. Ever since his childhood, Kraus believed in the existence of a secret passage and secret room that only Kinzo knew about. But even so, when it's brazenly right before his eyes like this, he can't enter without hesitation.
まさかクラウスまで暗闇を怯えるのではあるまいな。それともこうして礼拝堂の裏で風雨に身をさらし続けることを選ぶというのか？
この先に何があるというのかね。
その目で確かめるがよい。うすうすは想像がついているくせに。 あなた、やめましょう。きっとこれは何かの罠です。
私もできることならば、こんな薄気味の悪い階段を降りたくなどない。しかしどうやら、私たちには選択の余地はなさそうだよ。
While grinning broadly, Beto playfully spun the sawed-off rifle held in her hand. Indeed, Kraus and Natsuhi had been threatened with that gun and forced here. Yikes. They had thought for certain that when they were forced here, it was to kill them in a place where no one would notice. However, now that they've been shown the secret staircase, they were beginning to think that maybe she wasn't planning to kill them. That she knew the secret underground staircase is the cause of Beto being a witch. And she went out of her way to show it, so she probably has some other motive than to kill them. Nay, she must. Kraus gulped deeply, and they began to slowly descend the underground stairs. Natsuhi followed behind her husband. And Beto, grinning confidently, followed after them. The enormous pile of gold in the underground VIP room. Of course it makes Kraus and Natsuhi's hearts jump, but just that wouldn't make them accomplices to some kind of dreadful incident. And so the bomb trigger was explained. Since Kraus had a good understanding of Kinzo's madness, even the embellishment that Kinzo amused himself with the trigger that would blow up the whole island wasn't something that could just be laughed off. Understanding Beto's threat with the bomb, and the authority that comes with it, was something that they must have been... Apologies. Was something that they must be made to appreciate.
そんな、どうしてお父様が自分の住む島にそんな爆弾を仕掛けるというのですか？
六軒島にはかつて海軍の秘密基地があり、徹底抗戦に備えて莫大な量の弾薬を備蓄していたという話は何度か聞いたことはある。そして親父殿も命運が尽きた時には島もろともきれいさっぱり消え去るというようなことを昔言っていたような気がする。
そうとも。そしてその仕掛けが、その仕掛けは後宮家の真の当主に受け継がれる。つまり今はわらわだけがその仕掛けを使いこなすことができるのだ。
By activating it, the device can at any time cause a giant explosion. Beto's explanation may not be convincing enough. In that case, Genji will be there too. If the same story also comes from Genji's mouth, its credibility will sharply rise.
はい。かつて親方様が作られた時限爆弾の仕掛けは、今や新しき当主、ベアトリーチェ様のものでございます。
そんな。
Hearing the same story from Genji, Natsuhi was at a loss for words. And understandably so. On the island she had spent so many years was buried an enormous amount of explosives. They could have, at Kinzo's slightest whim, or by some kind of coincidental accident, massively exploded. Natsuhi was petrified at the reality that she was still living on such an island even now.
なるほど。恐ろしい話だよ。しかしそれは戦争中の爆薬ではないかね。それが今も起爆するとは思えんのだが。
問題ありません。親方様の命により定期的に検査を行っておりましたので。
もちろん爆薬のテストもしたぞ。その威力は申し分ないものであった。あの程度の量であれだけの威力を見せたのだ。少なくともこの屋敷を中心に数百メートルを完全に吹き飛ばすなど造作もないことであろうな。
爆薬のテスト？
そうであるとも。爆薬の威力を実験するためにあるものを爆破したのだ。そなたたちもよく知っていたものだ。
Kraus and Natsuhi looked at each other. They didn't remember there being any kind of big explosion anywhere nearby. Shrugging her shoulders with a smile, Beato signaled to Genji to explain it to them.
旦那様、奥様、お忘れですか。鎮守の社のことを。
鎮守の社。
The local shrine built on the reef, just a little ways out from Rokkenjima's port. Last year it was demolished by some large wave or lightning or something. Hint, hint. They hadn't really thought about it much, but there's no way some large wave would wash away the whole shrine, let alone the reef. There was a group among the servants who said purple lightning fell from the sky and smashed the shrine, or some such rumor. But there's no such thing as purple lightning, much less lightning that could smash a shrine and even destroy the reef.
まさかそんなそういうことよ。わらわの復活を祝ってあの社を岩礁ごと吹き飛ばさせてもらったのよ。しかしあれほどの威力とは。社が吹き飛べば上等と思っていたが、まさか岩礁ごと吹き飛ばすとはな。人間の生み出した武器も実に恐ろしいものだぞ。
状況は理解したよ。それで君はここへ私たちを招いて、それに対し何を求めていると言うんだね。普通ならばそれに対し金でも要求するのかと考えるところだが、そこに山と積まれている黄金があるように、君がお金に困っているようには到底見えん。そして私の命が目的ならさっさと奪っているはずだ。まさかメイドの土産を気取って六軒島の秘密を聞かせてくれたわけではないと思うのだがね。
Kraus tried to act as calm as possible. Certainly, as his every word slightly quivered, his nervousness and agitation still hadn't cooled down. However, the mountain of gold piled there and the story about the massive amount of explosives that could blow up the whole island, that way... Wait. Huh? That way to abnormal reality, what? Made the scene before his eyes also feel more like an event happening on the other side of the TV screen. In some sense, that might have let him regain his composure. Moreover, thinking more calmly, it had been declared that the means of contacting the outside world had already been severed. Ah! I see now, Pancho. You are right. I couldn't see it. I guess maybe because it was also split when in the text box, and I was like, eh? What am I reading? Yes, I understand now. Okay, my bad. Furthermore, that it's also understood that the typhoon would isolate the island for a period of 2 days. There was nowhere to run. On the whim of this golden witch worthy of inheriting Ushiromiya Kinzo's madness, everyone on Rokkenjima could be blown to smithereens. For Natsuhi to understand this, she would probably need to cool her head for a while more. However, Kraus was already starting to calmly accept it.
君はこれから何かの条件と引き換えに私に何かを強いるつもりだろう。それがどのようなものか私には皆目見当もつかないが、可能な限り交渉に応じるつもりだ。
ほう、意外にも理解が早くて助かるぞ。
おそらくそれは断りがたいものだろう。何しろ今の私たちは島丸ごと君に人質に取られているも同然なのだからね。
その通りだ。爆発から逃れる方法は2つしかない。1つはわらわしか知らない方法によって次元装置を、もう1つはこの格子の向こうの地下通路より島の反対側へ行き、見ての通り この孔子の世情も我が手中にある。いずれの方法で生き残るにせよ、わらわを拒むことなどできんのだ。
分かっているとも。私たちも自分の命は惜しい。しかし同時に君も私たちに何らかの協力を得なければならないらしい。次元爆弾と黄金という最高の切り札を2枚も持つ君が、私たちに首を縦に振らさなければならない都合があるらしい。
いいともクラウスよ。
Yeah, I can see that this is different from the previous scenario that we saw where information was given to the family about stuff. It's, yeah. I guess partial filtered information. Yeah.
そなたが望むならそうしようではないか。これは脅迫ではない。取引だ。わらわはそなたたちの協力を得たい。
先に見返りを聞こうではないかね。
この黄金の山のすべてと家族の命を保証しよう。ただしそれ以外の一切は諦めてもらうがな。
それ以外の一切という。
Yeah, I was about to say, what does everything
もう少し
else mean?
詳しく伺いたいね。
そのままの意味だ。何しろこの島のすべては吹き飛ぶのだからな。
Kraus and Natsuki both were shocked at such an outrageous proposition. For a time they lost their composure, but even still it was an offer that couldn't be refused. Kraus calmed Natsuki and regained his cool. He retorted that if the island were to blow up, there wouldn't be enough time to carry out the gold. Beato held out the card to an underground safe at the bank. This was what Beato had turned into cash so far. In an underground vault beneath the bank's head office slept 1 billion yen stuffed in an attaché case. By holding out that card, she guaranteed Kraus 1 billion yen. But Kraus found it hard to believe that there really was 1 billion yen in that safe. But money can't buy the lives of his family. Nor can a mountain of gold. Once again, after disputing with Natsuki, he was dispirited and worn. In exchange for his family's absolute safety, Kraus reluctantly offered up his cooperation. Of course, there was self-interest too. The island being blown away would probably be treated as an accident. And along with that, without any relatives, the investigation directed at him would become unresolvable. Of course, this includes Kinzo's death too. Nearly all the troubles they bear would be gone. And even supposing there isn't 1 billion yen in the safe, there's a lot of money on Kinzo's life insurance plan. Natsuki was hesitant, but to Kraus, it wasn't a bad deal. Suppressing the guilty part of his conscience, Kraus argued that there was no other way to protect Jessica.
それで私たちに何をしろというのですか。
協力するとは言ったが、おかしな犯罪の片棒は担ぐによ。
Kraus and Natsuki said, completely drained.
わらわはとある人物をもてなすためにある芝居を上演したい。
ある物語？
そやつとわらわは推理小説をたしなみ、互いに議論を交わした仲よ。ゆえにその6年ぶりの帰りを祝って極上のミステリーで歓迎してやりたいのだ。
It would seem that on this island shut off by a typhoon, Beato wants to put on some kind of bizarre play. Their role is to obey the scenario she prepared, so that the story will stay consistent. In other words, to become characters in her play. To act and speak only in accordance with her scenario. There apparently was nothing more required of them than that. Oh no, just that. Easy peasy. Except, all other things are forbidden. In the event that her story is interfered with, the safety of Kraus's family is not guaranteed. The only way to escape the giant explosion is to get far away from the mansion grounds. The only way to do that is to escape to the opposite side of the island by the tunnel out from the underground VIP room. And that underground tunnel is blocked by a locked metal grate. Only Beato holds a key. And Beato promises that after everything is over, she will hand that key over to Kraus. The whole story was dangerous and shady all over. No, perhaps this was a necessary aspect for a play. She, in exchange for all the gold, was saying she wanted help just for one last play, or perhaps sideshow. The dress of the witch in the portrait that she wore, and her whimsical smiling, are perhaps joys only permitted to those who solved the mystery of the epitaph. Kraus continued to press for his family's safety. That when that promise was broken, all cooperation ceases. And to that Beato would once again say that if they didn't follow the scenario provided, not a single person would survive, while scowling at them with a crazy laugh. And with that, Kraus and Natsuhi had been made complacent. The cooperation of all the servants and of Nanjo had already been arranged. The preparations for the game board were now complete. And finally, the story begins.
とにかく親父が降りてこねえことには始まらね
え。まったくだわ。私たちは兄さんと話しに来たんじゃない。お父様と話をしに来たのよ。
You are over a year late for that. Sorry, did I miss something? No, it was just Kraus not saying anything. Kraus quietly bore all the harsh words of the siblings. He couldn't do anything extraneous. He must behave in accordance with the scenario provided to him by the witch. In the scenario, he was to wait until midnight, which was soon to be. Then they heard the chime of the banquet hall's grandfather clock. It's midnight. It's time for that witch's scenario to take motion. At midnight, there will be a knock on the door of the dining hall. Here we are again. And there it was.
誰だね?
He meant to say it nonchalantly, but it came out slightly nervous.
失礼いたします。源氏でございます。
He is also a person following Beatrice's scenario.
あら、源氏さん。どうしたの？こんな時間に。
ちょうどよかった。少し喉が渇いてたんや。この辺で少しお茶でももらって休憩しようやないか。
Genji, after signaling to Kraus with a look, deeply lowered his head to everyone and made the announcement.
皆様方、親方様が書斎にお呼びでございます。
Everyone was stunned by his words. Eva doubted even the existence of Kinzo, but that very person was summoning everyone to his study.
どういうことよ、これ。
知らんよ。親父殿の気まぐれは今も昔もどうにもならんね。
All according to plan. This is the part where I lead everyone to the study. And then in front of the study, he and Natsuhi will specifically be told to wait.
お待ちを。旦那様と夏日様はこちらでお待ちくださいませ。
In front of the study, Genji made the pronouncement. Natsuhi didn't say a thing, silently casting her eyes at the floor. Seeing this, Eva smiled triumphantly.
あら、これはどういうことなのかしら？兄さんたち抜きで先に私たちに話したいことって一体何なのかしら？
わからんね。親父殿が考えることはいつだってわからんよ。
親方様、源氏でございます。親族の皆様をお連れいたしました。
Genji said this through the door after knocking. A farce. Beyond that door lies only a deserted room that has long since lost its master.
皆様、栄光ある後宮家の当主、金蔵様の書斎でございます。くれぐれも粗相のなきよう。
源氏さん、 親父の機嫌はいいんだろうね。
はい。当主様はすこぶる上機嫌でおられます。
Both Eva and Rosa were visibly relieved, but Krause and Natsuhi knew. The master Genji spoke of was a new master. It was that witch. Right now, awaiting them inside the study, was the Golden Witch Beatrice. The island, the mansion he lived in, was, at some point unbeknownst, granted to the witch of the portrait as its new master. This mansion Krause had come to believe was his home had quickly become a very different place for him. With Genji leading, Eva and the other relatives were swallowed up by the pungently poison-scented study. Slowly the door closed, and with the heavy sound of the autolock, their existences disappeared.
これで私たちの仕事は果たせたのでしょうか。
とりあえず今夜の仕事は
あの女は不吉です。部活に近寄れば自らごと全てを滅ぼしかねない嫌な気配を感じるのです。
夏日もかね。私もだよ。だからあの女の言いなりになるべきだと思ったのだ。あの女はもし私たちが首を縦に振らなかったなら、
使用人たちも全員あの女の手下なのですね。
誰だって死にたくはないさ。それに私たち同様に多くの報酬が約束されているのかもしれない。何しろ200億の黄金をお持ちなのだからな。
Suddenly hearing unexpected footsteps, Krause and Natsuhi went quiet. They looked and saw Kumasawa coming up the stairs. Kumasawa was also one of the witch's henchmen. They can't afford to lower their guard, but still they did view her as someone they could better relate to than Genji.
お疲れ様でございます。旦那様方のお役目は今夜はこれで終了だそうでございます。
Wow, it's rare that we see Kumasawa this serious. She's always like ho 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 and macros and whatnot.
彼らに魔女殿は何の話をしているのだろう。
さあ、ベアトリーチェ様のお考えは私どもには分かりません。
なるほど。魔女殿も親父殿も気まぐれなあたりは実によく似ているようだ。
私たちはこれからどうすればよいのですか。
今夜はこのままお部屋にお戻りになり、お休みになられるようにとのことです。明日からは明日からのシナリオに沿われますようにとの。
熊沢さん、あなたもあの魔女に買収されているわけかね。
私も命が惜しゅうございますので。
爆弾の話かね。あれは本当なのかね。本当にこの島の地下には爆弾が仕掛けられているのかね。
おそらくは真実でございましょう。実際に鎮守の社を爆弾で吹き飛ばしているのですから。
熊沢はこれから何が起こるのか聞いているのですか。
とある方を驚かせるための大芝居としか聞かされておりません。それ以上はご容赦ください。私も余計なことを喋れば命はないと脅されておりますもの。
When Kumasawa meekly said this, she lowered her head very deeply. The buyouts from the giant pile of gold and the threat from the bomb. They really have no way to resist. Is this all just a giant farce? Or is it the opening to some ghastly celebration of the Golden Witch's resurrection? Despite the ominous feeling they got from the thunder outside, Krause and Natsuhi could only head to their respective rooms. But in their bedrooms were the new scenarios already delivered. By reading them, they knew the night's farce will continue. The five invited into the study, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kirie, and Rosa, stood firmly at attention like children called to ceremony.
親方様、親族の皆様、5名をお連れいたしました。
うん。ご苦労であったな、源氏。
Everyone was surprised at hearing a woman's voice. A flash of lightning illuminated a woman's figure for an instant, which was the very figure of the person whose portrait hung in the reception hall.
皆様、栄光ある後宮家の当主、ベアトリーチェ様のおなりでございます。
So overwhelmed by the sight of the witch, they forgot to even close their gaping mouths. Eva was the first to come to her senses.
これは何の冗談なの？源氏、これはどういうこと？
こら驚いたわ。まさに肖像画の魔女にうり二つやで。そのドレス特注したんかいな。
お静かに、当主様の御前でございます。死後は慎まれますように。
Scolded like a class of disobedient primary school children. They were all stunned again by Genji's sharp words. No, that's not right. It was because the more familiar family head had casually appeared from the darkness.
全てを我が最愛の魔女に返す日がやってきたということだ。今夜私は後宮家のすべての財産と後宮家当主の指輪を彼女に譲り渡したのだ。
Kinzo made the announcement in boisterously high spirits. Of course, Kinzo never really appeared. To those who already know that Kinzo has left this world, this illusion is nothing more than a farce. Because illusions are an embellishment of the result's cause. They are merely a creative production behind known results. The results are that 5 people die in the study. And along with their miserable final moments comes its own new production.
さて、今宵そなたらを集めたのには理由がある。わかる者はおるか？いきなりそう問われてもひらめきはしまい。だからヒントはくれてやろう。クラウスと夏日を呼ばなかったことに意味がある。源氏はカウントしなくてよいぞ。こやつはまだまだ役に立つのでな。
Suddenly declaring this, Beto had a mischievous smile creep upon her face. Of course, there really was no way for any of them to answer such a question. Even Kinzo tilted his head in confusion.
ベアトリーチェ、この私にもわからぬ問いを用意するとは実に味なことをするではないか。
Oh, hey, Red Needle. Hi, hi. Aww.
なぜそなたの復活をクラウスと夏日に祝わせぬのだ？
わからぬか、金蔵よ。もう一つだけ。それはついさっき大広間で大時計が何を知らせたのかであるわ。
Getting more and more confused, the relatives muttered amongst themselves. They really had no idea what was happening.
やれやれ、金蔵にもわからぬとは。失望であるぞ人間ども。それでは正解を教えてやろう。はてさて今回はどのようにしたものか。七姉妹ではマンネリだし、シエスタの姉妹兵もおなじみが過ぎる。ガープも良いかと思ったが、やはりここは久々に新しき客人を招こうではないか。
I was thinking, new character? Which new demon shall I call this time? Opening her grimoire, she picks randomly from the 72 noble demons. Casually flipping through the pages. The number that appears is 64. Who was number 64 of the 72 again? Rank number 64. Flauros. Yes, it has a nice ring to it. Let's go with this one. Alright, what kind of character design shall we do? Gap and Ronoa and everyone have an adult-like design. So this time I like to try the opposite with a more childlike design. One of the few that has endured eternal me pain and found me joy. Aww, aww. I think we've done both of those together. They're wearing a leotard? I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised if it's also the 64th character. Ah! Who's keeping count? I'm not, I don't know. A killer with childlike innocence or something. Oh no. Maybe it could be expressed through character design. Let's look up more about Flauros. Flauros. Plachan. Yes, I like the sound of it. What? Has the appearance of a leopard, sorry. Has the appearance of a man when taking human form. What? A man? A cute girl would be so much better. Sorry, man. Amended. Let's make her a cute girl with matching animal ears. Okay. I can't count it high. Oh, a bunch of... Sakutaro had cute ears. Something like his. Let's sketch it. Okay. Alright. Genji appears with cat ears. Oh no. Of course, it's a cat girl, I guess. Squid! Hi! How's it going? As Beto raised her hands up, the floor of the study shone golden, and it was whirled up all at once. Every time you drop it, the stream, the character has an evil fish face going on. She has a wide array of emotions, yeah. Imagine the relatives standing there watching someone completely deranged drawing on a notebook aggressively. It is quite a vision in my mind. I've only seen this in Last Note with the original sprite, so there's something new for me. Okay, okay, that's cool. Happy to provide. Therapy is You know what? You're not very far off. It was a wondrous swarm of golden butterflies. The relatives were dumbfounded at such a beautiful scene that had lost all sense of reality. Oh, lots of adulting. Oh, good job, Squid. You hang in there. You go show the people in that meeting whatever cool things you're brewing or whatever needs to happen at work. I believe in you. Go do that and then treat yourself to something delicious for lunch. Thank you for dropping by. It's always nice to see you, or, well, to read you. I guess it's more appropriate. Been debugging for days. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. You go for it. I believe in you.
恐ろしいやつよ。そのようないい加減な心がけで大悪魔を召喚できるのだから。
6 days, wow. Wow, okay. I have faith. You can do this.
その魔力にはつくづく敬服する。
Ooh. Oh, that's a very cool effect. As the whirlwind of golden butterflies surged, it formed a human shape in the center of it. Oh, hello. After it burst apart, a great demon of the 72 pillars showed herself.
誰がわらわの召喚に応えたやら。
And thus appears cleavage, of course. Always.
フラウロスであるな。
さすがは金蔵よ。一目でわかるとは、つくづくそなたは人間離れしている。
Ginzo and Beto were having a chat, grinning and laughing. However, the other relatives were just standing still with their minds blank.
フラウロスよ、久しぶりであるな。我が召喚に応えたということは、少なくとも今は誰の契約にも服していないということ。
Childlike wonder. Yeah. Yeah, about that.
嬉しいぞ。そなたを味方として迎えられて。
72柱序列第64位灼熱のフラウロス登場だぜ。
To human eyes, she probably looked like a girl still in middle school. However, she's one of the 72 great noble demons, Flaurus. With her terrible power, With her terrible power, she lays waste to her summoner's enemies. Her specialty is devouring and burning them to ash. Truly a demon among demons.
誰でもいいなんていい加減な召喚だったけど、面白そうだからと来てみれば、召喚者はまさかのあの大ベアトリーチェ卿だぜ。雇われ商売とはいえ面白いもんだぜ。
そうであるな。
She kind of speaks like Jessica, doesn't she? Or am I... huh?
かつてそなたはわらわと敵対する魔女と契約していた。そなたの相手は実に骨が折れたものよ。
ま、お仕事だから仕方ないぜ。それであちしの仕事は？あちしの仕事は殺すことか壊すことだけだぜ。久しぶりだから暴れたくてうずうずしてるぜ。
First time seeing this creature. What is this Neochista? Yeah.
わらわの儀式への協力を命ずる。すでに時計はその始まりを刻んでいるのでな。これより第一の番の生贄に6人を殺すことを
But
命
who's the
ずる。
sixth? Because there's 5. And then there's Genji, but you said you had uses for... What's happening?
6人殺し了解だぜ。ここに都合よく並んでる6人をぶっ殺しちまってもいいんかね。
Oh, is she? Oh, interesting.
なんとそういうことか。これは私も運がない。
Ginzo finally understood the reason for which everyone was gathered in his study. Ginzo is the 6th. Okay, how does that work? I guess... Okay, yeah. We just throw the body in there and there's 6 people, I see. In Beato's mind, the sacrifices of the first twilight had already been decided.
お父様、これは一体どういうことなんです？
Eva timidly asked, but Ginzo just continued his mad laughter.
運のない奴らだぜ。さて、誰から食らってやろうかね。
Laurus's 2 hands stretched to the floor. Her appearance was now not so much that of a human's, but of a ferocious leopard. Why do I have a problem reading this? I don't know why.
悪く思うな。そなたらに罪はない。恨むなら6年もの長きにわたり約束を保護にしたあの男を恨むのだな。
They all stared, befuddled. Beato bent down into the sofa's shadow. And when she stood up again, she was holding in both of her hands one from Ginzo's collection of sawed-off shotguns. The relatives could only imagine the sight of her wearing a dress and holding an antique gun, to be that of a proper lady holding something like a folding fan. Ouch. That went into the depths of my heart. Well, at least they couldn't imagine lead actually gushing from those muzzles. First, in Ushiromiya Kinzo's study, shoot Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kirie, and Rosa dead. The door to Kinzo's study is thick, so the sounds of the guns won't be heard easily. You mean the sprite with her holding the gun, or what do you mean? Kraus and Natsuhi will already have been guided far enough away from the study by Kumasawa, and won't hear the guns firing. The tools necessary for dealing with the corpses will already have been brought to the study. Yeah, indeed, it is quite a sight, I guess. Flauros changed into the form of a giant leopard, there it is, and started by swallowing Kinzo in one gulp. Swallowing him whole served as an explanation for Kinzo not to leave a corpse. It might be good to leave something like some of cut-off scrap of Kinzo's robe behind in the room. Shocked by this, the relatives tried to escape the room, but they couldn't because it had been magically sealed. Magically sealed.
あちしが獲物を逃がすと思ったかい？お前らもこれから順番に料理してやるから。
The enormous leopard bellowed that as it twisted its greatly inflated belly. Maybe Kinzo, who was swallowed whole, was struggling, or maybe it was indigestion. Okay. What? Flauros returns to the form of a girl, rubbing her belly that was protruding like a watermelon. Before long, her stomach retracts, and she shrugs. Interesting choices everywhere, I guess, yeah. I don't know, I'm not really feeling her. She feels so out of place. Maybe it's because I've already spent so much time with the other characters that it's really difficult to take in a completely new one. I don't know. I don't know.
俺たちは夢を見てるのか？これは何の冗談なんだよ！クソ！クソ！
誰かおらんかいな。ここを開けてくれ。あかんのや。
With the door that would never be opened again as long as the first twilight lasted behind them, some of the relatives were banging on it, while others were in front, staring at Flauros. Yeah, it's okay. I just feel like she sticks out. And I guess I would just need more time to be able to, you know, get used to the idea that she's part of the cast, which I will likely not get, so I will not get used to that idea, but it's okay, it's okay.
さっさと始末してしまえ。
へい、合点承知。今夜はモツの気分なんで、お前らの温かい腹渡ぶちまけちゃうぜ。
It doesn't help that they went for this beast devouring people kind of vibe. At least the stakes and the Chester sisters had like a much clearer, more to the point way of ending people.
物騒なこと言いやがって。大人をあんまりからかうと一定目に遭うぞ。
Rudolph was posturing, but his was shaking and his hips were buckling. Make of that sentence what you wish. Fill in the blanks of what of his was shaking. Rudolph, yeah, he screamed. Something of his was shaking and his hips were buckling. Flauros approaches him in that state while laughing impishly and licking her lips. Probably, but it's not there, right? It's a cat box, we will never know. You can imagine whatever you want.
そら歯を食いしばりやがれ。
Contrary to the tone of the girl who had eaten the person, those nails were way too sharp. Rudolph died. Schrodinger's dinger. Oh my god. Rudolph fell on his knees. Then with a thud and a splash, intestines spilled out on the floor from that torn up stomach. Thank you very much.
まずそうな色をしてやがるぜ。さて、次はドイツの腹渡を開いちゃおっかね。
That's cool. Aye. Lines of fresh blood were drawn on the wall several times. To abide by the above scenario, the bodies were distorted. So that the bullet holes are not discovered, whole chunks of their bodies were destroyed. Flowers tore into their stomachs, pulled out the entrails, and bit them off. I'd really take a Chester Sister arrow at any point now. I'm good. I don't need this. His love was shaking. When you see, it's always love. Without love, it really cannot be seen. True. Lord Mashiro. Oh, sorry. This was also carefully reproduced. Okay. It was carefully reproduced. Whatever that means.
中年どもはどいつもこいつもうまくなさそうな腹渡してやがるぜ。金蔵がお腹でゴロゴロする。うげえ、吐きそう。
ひどい光景です
確かにこのように死体がちぎれ飛び内臓が散らばる血まみれの第一の晩は実に見事だ。エヴァの再来を思わせる残忍さであるぞ。
別に残忍なつもりなんかないぜ。あちしはただ命令された相手を食らっちまうだけだぜ。さて次は誰を抜っ殺しちまうんだぜ。100年も釜の中に閉じ込められてたから久々のシャバなんで羽を伸ばしたくてうずうずしちまうぜ。
It seems like Flowers couldn't contain the throbbing delight bubbling through her entire body for having been summoned after so long. Schrodinger's show. No worries, Scream, no worries. Thank you for dropping by. Unfortunately, you came at this moment, which, out of context, I don't even know how this must feel. Yeah. She moaned as she stretched, standing on her hands and feet in an animal-like stance.
申し訳ないが、我が儀式にはいろいろと作法があるので
な。In many ways, it already had been like this, but now they're taking it to another level.
そなたの出番は次の第2の晩までない。
せっかく血の雨が浴びられたと思ったのに。
All that hunger must be getting to you. It has nothing to do with it.
とんだ肩透かしだぜ。
そなたが呼び出されるのはいつも敵の群れの真っ只中であろうからな。100年ぶりの獲物がまずはたったの6人で実に申し訳なく思うぞ。
まああちしは時間ない食べ放題が大好きだけど、もったいぶってちまちまと出てくる懐石料理も嫌いじゃないぜ。このあちしを呼び出した以上、きっちり最後まで大ベアトリーチェのフルコースを楽しませてもらっちゃうぜ。
そなたが暴れてくれれば暴れてくれるほどにわらわは退屈せずに面白い。
Rikishi was feeling feelings during this and that Tsubasa story from yesterday. And he thought he should express them. I guess so. No worries, Scream, it's not a hijack.
そなたが楽しんでくれることに期待している。
じゃあ第2の晩まではお役御免ってことでいいんかね。
うん、それまでのんびり。
じゃあしばらくあちしの好きにさせてもらうぜ。熱い雷雨を浴びながら存分に表を駆け巡りたいぜ。
Flora stood four-legged as she moaned happily with the stretch, her entire body quivering in delight. Yeah, this is where we are. I'm reading that sentence. Great, fantastic. I'm waiting for it to get to that point, Bea. Her body slowly glowing red, she burned brightly.
あちしは72柱の序列第64位灼熱のフラウロス。すべてを食い尽くすぜ、燃やし尽くすぜ、ぶっ飛ばすぜ。ああ、次の出番が待ちきれねえ。
Her bright red light turned to white and suddenly caused a giant explosion. The room splinters and everything turns white with smoke and dust from the blast. Enjoy your shower, Scrim. The inside of the study was swallowed up by a torrent of blistering rain. Floris's explosion broke a gaping hole in the wall of the study.
やれやれ。あまり派手にしてくれるな。この部屋にそのつもりはないが、以降は密室殺人の趣向で行くのでな。そう自由気ままに壁をぶち抜かれてはたまらんぞ。
それは悪いことをしたぜ。あちしは殺すのと同じくらい壊すのも大好きなもんで、焼き払うのはもっと大好きだぜ。
As she yelled, Flowers returned to leopard form and, leaving behind foaming footprints, jumped out into the storm-filled sky. From the giant hole in the wall, she landed in the middle courtyard, kicking the walls and prancing about until she disappeared into the jet black sky. Flora saw Ushirimiya family parents and said, "I'll smash them." Yeah, she didn't pass on a single one, she smashed them all. Something like that. It seems she just couldn't help herself after being separated from the physical world for so long.
なるほど。なかなかに退屈をさせぬやつだ。それにしても無残なものよ。
The giant gaping hole, the wreckage and dust, and the storm blowing in all made the study quite a wreck. So much for a locked room. And of course, the sacrifices with their innards cruelly strewn about.
たまにはこのような大胆な第一の晩もおつなものよ。
Then Kraus and Natsuhi were to be brought to the scene and made full witness to everything. So it would probably be good to get them a bit dusted up. Something like having them do one roll on the floor or of the trashed up study should do the trick. So after the murder of the first 6, Beato sneered, "Aren't you lucky?" at Kraus and Natsuhi, who, since the seal had expired, managed to flee out of the door. Or something. After that, Kraus and Natsuhi rushed to call the police, but for some reason the call couldn't get through. The general outline is that they, in a panic, took the servants and rushed to the guest house. But both Shannon and Kanon can't go together, so this part will have to be done carefully. A simple story would be, Natsuhi and Shannon went on ahead to the guest house, while Kraus and Kanon went to get guns for self-defense, but are a bit late coming back. Shannon entered the servants' room with the terrified Kumasawa, slipped out through the window and met up with Kraus. Then, for a while, everyone holed up in the guest house. The children of the killed parents will probably want to see the crime scene, or start planning revenge, or find some other reason to leave the guest house. If they're really persistent, they can once more go to the study. Once again, it will be auto-locked, but it's not a problem since Genji has a key. When they see such a bizarre crime scene with a large hole in the wall, they will certainly accept that it couldn't possibly have been done by humans. It would also be interesting if there was a magic circle at the crime scene that wasn't there before. The magic circle could have been prepared several days earlier. All that's needed is for Kraus and Natsuhi to give false testimony that it wasn't there before. And to make it even more inexplicable, Kraus or Natsuhi will carry an envelope that makes a proclamation about the crime, and it will be discovered in a closed room situation. This is just an example, but something like having a room that was just confirmed locked with nothing unusual. But then when it's re-entered, there'll suddenly be a creepy letter there. It will be impossible to explain it by methods other than magic without doubting Kraus and Natsuhi. The first mystery argument in the meta world can be held here. Without doubting Kraus and Natsuhi, there is absolutely no way to see through it. Probably he won't be able to think of anything outside of something having to do with the lock, or some kind of location-based trick based off a gap in or around the door or window. But if this is a closed room in the true meaning, there isn't some mysterious culprit hiding somewhere. If I note all these things in red, he'll just give up. He can only destroy false closed rooms. So if this room really is a closed room, he'll go as far as it's magnificent and stop thinking. Certainly, in Cars' closed room taxonomies, there are listed many false closed rooms made to appear like true closed rooms. They provide enjoyment with tricks, and when thinking of how to entertain with mystery novels, it's true that a tangibly identifiable answer which can be reasoned out is convenient. It's why we can say that there's no helping the fact that the vast majority of mysteries are overflowing with false closed rooms. But incidentally, this also makes for a limit on the thinking involved in the majority of closed rooms. Don't misunderstand, I'm not criticizing false closed rooms. What I am criticizing is the section of narrow-minded humans who, because they only know false closed rooms, think it's the one and only kind of closed room mystery. Ah, my head is spinning. However, we mustn't forget that in Cars' closed room taxonomies, there are also descriptions of methods for murder in true closed rooms too. In fact, if guaranteed a perfect closed room in red, it becomes easy to reason based on H.H. Holmes's closed room taxonomies. Because, saying Holmes is a little confusing, let's use his legal name, Boucher, from now on. According to Boucher, closed room murders can be explained with 3 categories. To make these categorizations extremely clear, I've written them below. So, the crime was committed before the closed room was constructed, the crime was committed while the closed room was up, the crime was committed after the closed room had been destroyed. It's only these 3 categories. If Red Truth says it's impossible to do it while the closed room was up, then it would be natural to think the crime was committed before the closed room's construction or after its destruction. If we are to use an incident of the sudden appearance of a letter in a closed room as an example, then the letter was placed before the closed room or after the closed room. It's just these 2 categories. With the former, you can doubt the person who confirmed its absence when they locked the room. With the latter, you can doubt the person who discovered the letter. In other words, if you base your thinking on Boucher's closed room taxonomies, you can immediately suspect that someone in the Ushiromiya family is cooperating with the culprit. And it should be clear as day who is more suspicious between the children from the guest house who confirmed the closed room and the lone survivors of the previous tragedy, Kraus and Natsuhi, who claim to have been witness to a demon summoned by a witch killing their relatives. For those who see this world as a mystery, they won't be caught by this kind of deception. Because to declare, I saw a witch, I saw magic, I saw demons in this world, is the same as confessing to being bought out to play a part in the culprit's ruse. What a simple and cheap mystery. Probably for those people who love to read the mystery novels that I have boundless respect for, they'll see right through it with a big laugh. To witness demons, even with a brazen display of fantasy as proof, is to mystery the height of satire. It will no doubt get laughs. Though, even if I think so, about 1 in 1,000 people might seriously believe that a witch summoned a demon. Only for that rare person can my world of fantasy be sufficient. Excuse the digression. So anyway, I will confuse the foregoing matter using the meta world, decorating it with the preface with the preface, sorry. I have... What's happening to midnight? Decorating it with the preface of an incomprehensible incident. The target of the upcoming second twilight will be Shannon. We'll have it so the women will go up to the guest house's second floor, while Kraus and the servant men fortify the first floor. And so Shannon and George can be together. George will probably attend to the frightened Shannon. These two close ones will be the target of the second twilight. This time I will go with the nuance of tearing apart those who are close, of tearing apart their relationship with an abduction. After going to the servant's room on the first floor, Shannon will head to the bathroom. Naturally, George will come too. But of course he can't go inside the girls' bathroom. He'll wait at the entrance. This is not a single-person bathroom, but a bathroom made for use in the guest house designed to be large enough to serve several people at once. At this point, Shannon will exit through the window in the back of the bathroom. Then Kumasawa will enter, and she will lock the window Shannon escaped through. Then she'll scream to announce some kind of incident. George opens the door to the girls' bathroom. When he does, Kumasawa's face will be pale and she will be pointing to a stall, shaking. Shannon went into the girls' bathroom before Kumasawa. Kumasawa's scream had conveyed only that something strange had happened to Shannon. Fearing the worst, George peered into the stall that Kumasawa was pointing at. There was, pasted thickly in red, a creepy magic circle drawn on the wall in blood-like paint. There were 3 stalls, but all of them were empty. There was only one entrance, and since George had been there the whole time, right now Shannon should be somewhere in the bathroom. It's hard for George to imagine, but she could have left through the window in the back. However, it's locked from the inside and he can't understand why Shannon would need to crawl out a window in the first place. It makes no sense. This couldn't happen. Shannon suddenly disappeared and was exchanged for a creepy magic circle.
George-sama, そこに親方様の封筒が。
On the toilet in the stall with the magic circle, there was a mysterious envelope, just like the last tauntful envelope from the witch. George picked up the envelope and violently tore it open. Seeing only a single short sentence, as if assaulted by a wave of dizziness, George staggered into a wall, collapsing against it. On the second twilight, tear apart the 2 who are close. Since I'd like to make Flauros the one responsible, I want to leave some Flauros-style evidence. Something like having the stall be hideously burned, or having traces of an explosion from inside it. Once again, they'll find weird evidence that they'll think clearly could not be produced by human means. Regarding this, it could be all prepared with leisure before the incident. The only problem is the possibility that one of the women would come into this bathroom beforehand. For that, the day before the incident, the bathroom on the first floor of the guest house could be out of order, so it would be necessary to instead use the bathrooms of the various bedrooms. This itself can also be interesting as foreshadowing for the trick. Or if the flashy decorations were something that couldn't be noticed from the outside, having the stall's door closed would be all that's needed to keep guests from seeing them. Then, later thinking back, they can realize that no one was supposed to be in the stall during that time, and that that door was closed. So then, who closed that door? If they reasoned from no one was supposed to be there, they should be able to figure out that the magic circle was prepared beforehand. I hope to have a lot of fun debating the second twilight. It shouldn't be hard to suspect Shannon and Kumasawa here. We'll have a scenario where Natsuhi comes to this conclusion and accuses the servants. This is my mystery novel gimmick. I'll use the reader's expectations, that the reasoning coming from the other characters is usually wrong, against them. By having Natsuhi say something is right, it will cause them to think it must not be so. It's a confusion technique. So after that, Natsuhi and Klaus will level suspicion at the servants. Of course, George and the others will object. They will insist that the servants are victims caught up in the same situation as everyone else. Yeah, I can see that. I see that, Lord Mushroom. After the discourse between Klaus and the servants, the decision will be to hunker down in 2 separate groups. A relatives group and a servants group. The grouping thing again. Rosa accusing Kanon of killing Jessica in episode 2 flashback, yeah. The relatives group will stay in the guest house, and the servants group will go to the mansion. In the middle of all this, George will probably insist on looking outside for Shannon. He can look as much as he wants. He'll probably be quickly chilled to the bone in the thunderstorm, give up, and return to the guest house. Following that, all the servants will have a meeting together in the mansion. They'll reaffirm what their next actions will be. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th Twilights will be a closed room chain. The feature of closed room chains is that the corpses will be found in a chosen order. As long as the first closed room is on the 1st floor and the others are on the 2nd floor or higher, or in places outside of the mansion, I can control the flow of their investigation. Beato gathered all the servants to the mansion's banquet hall to make this pronouncement. Genji, Shannon, and Kanon's expressions were calm, but Kumasawa and Goda's weren't.
本当にうまくいっているのでしょうか。不安ですね。
こういうことは初めての経験なもので、楽しいやら緊張するやら。
Eva saying this, the servants are accomplices of working under a mastermind in episode 1. Goda feigned laughter while trying to appear composed. They don't know. They don't even know that Eva and the others are really dead. This is Beato's deception made possible by her discovery of the gold. They believe the 5 victims were also paid off, and that they're just playing dead. Excluding exceptions like Genji, most bribees are easier to manage if they aren't informed that they're involved with murder. Yeah. It's case by case, though.
ではそれぞれ決められた部屋へ移動してもらおう。死体のふりは意外に疲れるぞ。疲れない格好で倒れておくことだ。
Kanon in the parlor. Genji on the 2nd floor in the VIP room. Kumasawa on the 2nd floor, Natsuhi's bedroom. Goda on the 3rd floor, waiting room. Shannon in the chapel. They all go to their respective murder scenes and do their makeup. From the 4th Twilight on, they are all gouge and kill. They are all to be gouged with some 7 stakes of purgatory. Everybody attends to their separate tasks in their separate rooms. Genji is composed. So are Shannon and Kanon. Goda is nervous that his faking will be found out. Masawa is over that and is starting to look forward to putting on the show. I mean, yeah, like, that is quite in character.
いろいろなイタズラをしてきましたけれど、こんな大きないたずらは初めてですね。
Kumasawa was chuckling in Natsuhi's room.
準備はいいか、熊沢よ。
おや、ベアトリーチェ様、使用人ごときに奥様のベッドで横になるなどもったいのうございます。
嘘をつけ。ベッドメイクの時、一度や二度飛び込んでみたくせに。
それを言ったらベアトリーチェ様だって。
それではメイクを始めるぞ。横になるがよい。
それでは。
Kumasawa takes off her shoes and starts to get on the bed.
これこれ。死体がわざわざ靴を脱ぐか。 履いたままでよい。
奥様のベッドに土足で上がるなんて、なんだか申し訳ない気がしますね。
Kumasawa climbed onto the bed with her shoes on. Beato opened up her makeup
良
bag.
い姿勢は見つかったか？ただ横になるだけでも長時間同じ姿勢を維持するのは疲れるぞ。
ええ、存じておりますとも。でもこれも1億円のためですものね。
Each of the servants is getting 100 million yen. In fact, it's already been sent. In a few days, bank keycards should arrive at their homes. They won't be able to receive them, but their bereaved families can. It will be more than enough for their funeral costs.
こんなところでしょうかね。
Aye. Kumasawa had been stirring restlessly, but it seems she finally found a comfortable pose. It really looked like she had been killed.
様になっているぞ。さすが、人を騙しておちょくることに関しては才能がある。
このような大芝居を打つベアトリーチェ様には到底かないません。
ではメイクを始めるぞ。しばらく動くな。いやいや、もうそなたは死体なのだから、当分は身動きせずにいてもらうのだが。
南條先生が出て行ったら、もう楽にしてもよいのですね。
うん。南條が検視を終えた後は、警察が来るまで部屋を封印することになっている。そうしたら少しは楽にしてよい。もっとも死体なのであるぞ。賑やかな音を立てるでないぞ。
それは存じておりますとも。ではこっそりとこれを隠しておきましょうかね。
Kumasawa hides her half-read book and bag of smoked squid under the bed
や
sheets.
れやれ。
Ay. Sorry.
用意周到なことだ。あまりリラックスしすぎて気取られるでないぞ。万一芝居が失敗したら報酬もなしなのだからな。
もちろん注意しますとも。
During their light banter, Beato had pulled a stake from her tool bag. Kumasawa is to be gouged and killed with this stake.
すまんが、うつ伏せになってくれぬか？仰向けではどうも格好がつかん。
うつ伏せでございますか？できはしますが、それでは少々息苦しいかと。
仰向けではいかにも寝ていますという感じで、ちょっと試しにうつ伏せになってくれぬか？試しだ試し。
そうでございますか？では失礼して。
長くその姿勢を保つのは苦しいか？
しばらくならなんとかなりましょうが。検視は早めに済ましてほしいものですね。
そうかそうか。しばらくそのまま。ちょっと衣装をいじらせてもらうぞ。あまりに綺麗に服を着こなされていてもリアリズムがないのでな。
Beato takes a tool from her bag. It's a twirled up lightweight extension cord.
ちょっとすまんな、通すぞ。そのままそのまま。
はいはい。
She coiled the extension cord around Kumasawa's neck, cross-lacing it from behind. She grasped the ends with both hands. Beato flung herself onto Kumasawa's back, straddling her. Suddenly, Kumasawa's throat tightened, and she could neither breathe nor scream. That extension cord wrapped around her neck was making a crackling sound. I'm strangling her. Kumasawa looked like she was doing the flutter kick in the pool, her heavier kicks occasionally pounding the bed. And straddling on top was Beato. in complete silence, as if she thought Kumasawa some kind of a bug or a rodent, mercilessly wringing her neck. The scene looked just as if a giant golden spider had captured some pitiful prey and was injecting its poison. And along with that, the canopy bed must also appear to be made from this strange spider's silk. This web should sometimes suddenly quiver, from Kumasawa's feeble resistance. And finally, Beato slowly got off of Kumasawa's back. Kumasawa didn't move a muscle. He was dead.
すまんな、熊沢。そなたのえぐられし部位は足首。足首を打たれてから殺されるのでは余計な苦痛が多かろう。
Done with her strangling tool, Beato next grabbed her nearby rifle. What do you mean, Scrim? Did you get to learn better spoken English in the end? In the end of what? And then, aiming at Kumasawa's calf, she pulled the trigger. The gunshot wasn't loud. It wasn't like the bang sounds from TV or the movies. At most, it was as loud as uncorking a champagne bottle. But then a splot of blood flies, and there's blood oozing out of the discomforting hole as it's being fished into. This time she was digging into it, tweezers in hand. She picked out the bullet that was just shot into the calf. Yeah, sorry, I'm not really even sure in what kind of context the question comes from. Then she unceremoniously tossed it into a small vinyl bag she had in her larger tool bag. Already stored in that vinyl bag were several blood-stained bullets.
第4と第5の番あたりは銃だけで蹴りがつくのだがな。後の番になればなるほど面倒になる。なので、ゴーダのような大男は第4、第5の番でないと殺すのに苦労してしまうのでな。
Then, taking the stake, she put the tip into the bloody, still oozing hole in the calf. Using her body weight, she carefully pressed it deeper. When she let up, the stake was cleanly plunged into the calf. She was still a bit worried that it might fall out before it's discovered, but it should still be enough to sustain the idea of sacrifices being gouged with stake. And now Kumasawa, Goda, and Genji have been killed. As for Kanon, who will be the first discovered, he can't die yet because he still has work to do. He will take his time drawing magic circles on the doors of all the crime scenes. The chapel is far from the mansion, so it won't be searched first. There are 4 scenes to find in the mansion, but they'll have to break a window to get in since they're all locked. Other than the parlor, all the locations are on the 2nd floor or higher, so it's nearly certain that the first scene they'll set foot in will be the parlor. In the parlor, Kanon will be dead, and in his pocket a master key. And in the room will also be a letter from the witch that includes the key to the next room. The survivors will end up finding the corpses by following the dictated route, under the pretense of preserving the room to hand over to the police. The crime scenes will be protected from possible investigation. Natsuhi will restrain the children, and Dr. Nandra and Kraus will be the only ones who go near the corpses. Jessica might try to rush to Kanon's corpse, so she'll require special attention.
Jessica, 落ち着きなさい。見てはダメ、入ってはダメ。
なんてこった。畜生。
これで使用人たちは犯人かもしれないという疑いは晴れましたね。夏日おばさん。
George sent a cold glare at Natsuhi, who had suspected the servants and driven them from the guest house.
どうですか、南條先生。詳しい死因はわからんが、死んどることはわかる。ただ少なくとも
こいつが致命傷でないことは確かだ。
There was an awful wound on Kanon's knee and a bloodied stake on the floor. There's no doubt that the culprit pierced Kanon's knee. But it's hard to think that stabbing a knee could lead to death. He was probably killed another way, but Nanjo couldn't grasp what it was with a cursory examination.
とにかく警察のためにも現場はそっとしておいた方がいい。私たちが勝手にやらせばそれだけ捜査を妨害してしまうことになる。
同感ですな。この部屋はこれまでにした方が良さそうだ。それより手紙の中に入っていた貴賓室の鍵とやらが気になりますな。
考えたくはないが貴賓室にもおそらく、
行ってみましょう。
なんということだ。彼らをゲストハウスから追い出さなければ。
Kraus hung his head and pulled at his
す
hair.
まないカノン、君たちを信じてやることができなくて、部下を信じることができないなんて。私は人の上に立つ資格はない。
第7の番だね。膝をえぐりて殺せ。
ってことは第4、第5、第6はどうなるんだい？他にも少なくとももう3人殺されてるって意味じゃないのかい？
落ち着けよジョージの兄貴。まだそうと決まったわけじゃ。
クラウスおじさん、貴賓室へ急ぎましょう。
少し待ちたまえ。割った窓をこのままにはできない。鎧戸を閉めておこう。
せめて最後に顔だけでも。気持ちはわかります。でもこれ以上現場は荒らせません。犯人を必ず見つけるためにもこのままにしなくては。だからここから祈りなさい。彼の礼服を。
And so they all head to the second floor's VIP room, then to Natsuhi's bedroom, then to the third floor's waiting room. Meanwhile, Kanon quietly sneaked out of the parlor. He got a master key, so he can just leave straight out the door and then lock it. Kanon's even got 2 master keys, so he can leave one behind in the parlor. Of course, there is a concern that after the epitaph murders are complete, the crime scenes will all be investigated again. For that situation, so that Kanon's missing corpse won't create an inconsistency, the culprit will have to perform some action that takes Kanon's corpse away. Kanon's disappearing corpse can become the trigger for another mystery. Kanon headed towards the chapel and met Shannon. Then he gave his master key to Shannon.
お疲れ様。守備はどう？
ただ寝てるだけさ。こんなの肥料の袋を運ぶ仕事より簡単さ。
ご苦労であったぞ、カノン。
This is a very trippy conversation.
これでそなたはお役御免だ。
ありがとうございます、ベアトリーチェ様。じゃあね、姉さん。また次のゲーム版で。
うん。また次のゲーム版で。
Beatrice waved her cane, and then Kanon's body sublimated into mist and disappeared into her smoking pipe.
さて、連鎖密室の鳥を飾るのはそなたであるぞ。
はい、心得ております。
そなたには第4の番を与えることにする。これが最も慈悲深い番だ。
ありがとうございます。
Beato and Shannon entered the chapel. The gloomy, solemn chapel was engulfed in nothing but the sound of wind and
どこ
rain.
がよろしいでしょう。
祭壇の裏手あたりはどうか。
かしこまりました。
Between the stained glass and the altar in front of it, there was a crevice no more than 20 centimeters wide. The crevice was sufficiently deep. Shannon had in advance prepared a metal dumbbell tied to a rope. And then she carefully tested hanging and lowering the dumbbell into the crevice. It went in with no problems. The weight of the dumbbell was ideal.
どうだ？問題ないか？
はい。十分です。問題ありません。
では先に杭の化粧から始めよう。そなたの杭は血で汚すことが難しいのでな。
She pulled some painting materials out of her bag. It's the exact same stuff used in movies and the like. And so she applied blood makeup to the end of the stake.
こんなものか。そちらの準備はどうだ？
はい。こちらも準備できました。
Shannon tied a pistol to the end of the rope opposite to that of the dumbbell. And then she carefully lowered the dumbbell into the crevice between the altar and the stained glass window. The middle of the rope was caught against the corner of the altar. Since the dumbbell was heavier than the pistol, as soon as she lets go, everything, gun and all, will be pulled into the crevice.
うまく落ちそうか？
はい。問題ありません。
Shannon hands the pistol tied to the rope to Beto. And Beto hands Shannon the fake bloodied stake. Shannon gently presses the stake against her own forehead. Beto also puts the pistol to Shannon's forehead, aligning it with the stake.
杭はないのか？
ありません。すべてはベアトリーチェ様のおぼし飯のままに。
残念であるぞ。誰かが碑文の謎を解けたなら、そなたも死なずに済んだものを。
解けるわけがありません。あれほどの難解な謎が。もとより望みのない賭けでした。
それでもわらわは賭けたのだ。それでも叶う奇跡こそが魔法だとな。
この毒素に満ちた人間の世界には魔法も奇跡もありません。ベアトリーチェ様、あなたこそが唯一の魔女にしてこの世に魔法を権限できる唯一の存在なのです。
そうだ。我こそは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。安らかに眠れ。次にそなたが目覚めるときはそこは黄金鏡だ。そこにはそなたの愛するジョージもいる。
ありがとうございます、ベアトリーチェ様。
It was a weak sound, but inside the chapel where only wind and rain could be heard, there was a faint echo. Shannon was tranquilly looking up at the ceiling. Then she suddenly collapsed like a puppet that had lost its strings. Beato lets go of the pistol in her hand. And when she does, the pistol pulled by the heavy dumbbell is swiftly swallowed up by the darkness of the crevice, disappearing with the heavy metallic clank. All that's left in front of the altar is Shannon's body with the bloody forehead. And strewn on the floor beside her, a stake for gouging sacrifices.
これで倒れた拍子に眉間より杭が抜けたように見えるな。
And with another wave of golden butterflies took the shape of an envelope placed next to Shannon. Inside was entrusted the first key, the key to the parlor. And so the closed room chain is complete. The 5 people, all with their master keys and the keys to each successive room, were all locked up in their own closed rooms. With another wave of her cane, she left a letter inside the envelope. It said something about Kano's corpse being borrowed as another sacrifice for the ceremony. And so they'll rush back to the parlor. But at that time, the parlor will have long been completely empty. They'll never be able to see the face of Kano's corpse again.
さて これで非分連続殺人は終了であるな。どうであるかバトラー。わらわのミステリー楽しんでくれると良いのだが。
For the story concerning the disappearance of Kanon's body, I'll attribute it to the already summoned Flauros. Even after Kanon's death, his soul will battle against Beato and Flauros. But it will be all useless. He'll lose, and what's more, his corpse will be swallowed up by Flauros. Something like that. And with that, this game's epitaph serial murder incident comes to a close. All that's left is to rewrite it into a fantasy story with Flauros as the culprit.
今のところはそんなものである。ここから読み物としての体裁を整えていくのが一番骨が折れるのだ。表の物語と裏の物語、これを一致させつつ読み物として充実させるのは実に苦労する。トリックを考え出すのと同じか、それ以上にな。
そしてその上辺の物語だけを読ませるのですから、あなたの物語はなんとも贅沢な限りです。
そうであるな。わらわは常にミステリーの物語とファンタジーの物語の2つを描いている。にもかかわらず公開されるのはその一方の物語だけだ。それは例えるなら、牛より最も上質なる肉をわずかだけ切り出し美味なる料理として、残りは全て捨ててしまうかのような贅沢だ。
贅沢な例えです。しかし惜しくもあるのではないですか。
惜しいとは
Delanar asking the heavy questions. Delanar had returned the bundled manuscript to Beato. Beato had replied back as she was arranging it on the desk.
あなたは倍の物語を描き、その上辺の半分だけを料理します。贅沢に捨てられた残り半分を知る者は、その味と大胆な切り捨てに驚きと称賛を送るでしょう。しかし、世の中の人間すべてがあなたの望むほど舌が肥えているとは限らないのです。
そういう輩も時にはいるであろうな。
あなたはそれを1000人に1人と記しましたが、おそらくは逆です。1000人に1人を除いて全ての人間はあなたが本当に読んでもらいたかったにもかかわらず、切り捨てて葬った残り半分の物語を察することもできないに違いないのです。
良いではないか。贅沢に上辺のみを切り取って物語とした読み物だ。ならばその読み手も1000人に1人を除いて全てを切り捨てるというのもなんとも贅沢で良いではないか。
それであなたは良いのですか。人は物語を読まれるために書くのです。誰にも読まれることのない物語を書き、自ら闇に葬るなど、贅沢の極みを超えて愚かしくさえ思えるのです。
I love Delanar.
良いではないか。1000人の999人に理解できるように記したものが文書と呼ばれるなら、1000人の1人にしか理解できない我が物語は奇書と呼ばれるにふさわしい魔女の描く物語なのだ。ならば奇妙な味たる奇書で良いではないか。
私の役目は戒律を用いてその奇なる物語を万人に理解できるようにすることです。
そういうことだ。だからこそ本当はそなたの手に委ねたくはない。
ですが、あなたの考えは分かりました。 999人に理解できるようにはできませんが、せめてあと一人理解できるようにする手伝いをできるかもしれません。
手伝いとは何か？
この未完成の原稿をいつの日にか公開したいのです。
わらわが料理に使い捨てた腹綿をわざわざゴミ箱より引っ張り出そうというわけか？
あなたはおそらく誰にも理解されないでしょう。しかしながらそれはあなたの本心とも思えません。あなたは999人への理解は求めていない。しかしそれでもたった一人への理解を求めている。
その一人さえ現れぬ可能性もあるわけだからな。自分の胸の内を誰かに理解してほしいと願うのは恋する少女だけではない。1000年を経た魔女とてそれを願うのだ。
そして少女はわざと難解な言葉でそれを語り、たった一人の王子の迎えを待つ。
そういうわけだ。
I bet because she wrote Umineko and being hungry, all those food analogies. Yeah, it's a recurring theme of us rolling our eyes whenever food is mentioned and Umineko making us hungry during stream. Yeah. Yeah.
わらわも長い月日をかけてなんともややこしい物語を書き上げたものよ。
もしその王子が現れない時、私があなたへ導く道しるべとなりましょう。
ミステリーであることを保証するノックスの実会か。そんなものが果たしてわらわへの道しるべとなるものか。
それでも足りなければこの未完成の原稿を公開し、あなたの世界への鍵とします。
なんとも恥さらしな話だ。告白する勇気もない小娘が友人に代弁させるかのようではないか。
That's cute.
それで成立する愛もあるのです。
よかろう。この原稿をそなたにくれてやろう。
Beato faced this way and, leaving a trail of smoke with it, tapped the bundled manuscript with her pipe. When she did, the manuscript bundle curled up and a bottle blinked into existence around it, sealing it inside. She tossed it to Dalanor.
そなたの好きにせよ。ただし条件が一つだけある。
何でしょう。
わらわの生あるうちにその封を解くことを許さぬ。
それではこの原稿によって真実にたどり着いた人々があなたに答えを告げられません。
わらわの待つ王子はその原稿を読まずに至ったもののみだからだ。猫の腹を裂いた後では猫をめでることはできまい。そのボトルを開けるとはすなわちわらわの腹を裂くも同じことだからだ。
わかりました。そのようにいたしましょう。願わくばこの原稿によってあなたの墓に参る者が現れることを心より祈ります。
どうだかな。かけらの海の魔女諸剣は実に冷淡であるぞ。わらわの墓に参る者が仮にいたとして唾を吐きかけるだけであろうがな。
あなたが愛あるものに見える物語を書いたなら、あなたもまた彼女たちを愛するべきなのです。あなたの求める王子とてあなたに愛がなければ見えないのです。
これは一本取られたぞ。そなたの勝ちだ。さあそのボトルを手土産に帰るがよい。わらわはまだ死なぬ。 書き終えねばならぬ物語はまだまだ長いのでな。
それではこれで失礼します。お元気で、大ベアトリーチェ卿。あなたを待つ大勢の愛ある魔女のことをどうかお忘れなく。
そうであるな。それをそなたの置き土産と思い受け取ることにする。
Raise a sentence there twice. Okay.
ロノウェ、客人のお帰りだ。玄関まで見送るがよい。その後、わらわにはもう一度紅茶を。久しぶりに甘いミルクティーを飲みたくなった。
かしこまりました、お嬢様。
As a result of Lady Beatrice's death, I am releasing this incomplete tale in accordance with her will. In reading this work, I was reminded of her long years of sadness, and couldn't hold back my tears. But at the same time, I felt pity for her. Although she was searching for someone who had love, I am sad to say that, ironically, her heart was filled with anger at those who did not. She once told me that it was fine if her story only reached one person in 1,000. However, that was wrong. Out of those 1,000 people, she wished her story would reach even one more person. If you asked her, she would surely laugh and deny it. But those were, without question, her true feelings. In the beginning, I was uncertain about releasing this manuscript. I thought that I should hide it, so as to preserve her mystery for the 1 in 1,000 1 in 1,000 savior she spoke so often about. But as I read and reread it, I began to realize that the manuscript was a message with no destination address. It was a wish that even she never realized she had. But now I understand it, and I think it should be granted. That is the reason I decided to release this incomplete manuscript. After you read this, it doesn't matter what your feelings toward the woman named Beatrice are, whether it's love or anger. But if you can, try to reach her feelings, buried in the deepest part of the story. She said that she wrote 2 stories and revealed 1. However, that was also wrong. She wrote 3 stories and revealed 1. By reading this incomplete manuscript, you will know 2 of those stories. I would like you to reach the 3rd and final one with your own power. As another woman, I strongly wish that of those reading this work. Without love, it cannot be seen. Those are her words, but I shall repeat them. Love exists in everyone's hearts. Her true tragedy was that she couldn't see that. My deepest thanks go out to everyone who helped with the compilation of this book. Especially to my assistant. Oh, that's nice. Anzu, Delanor Anox. Alright. Okay. Now what? There was more Umi pain, yes, of course. But it was perfectly delivered through the character of Delanor. I love that. I love her. Everything she is and everything she's done in the story has been just nothing short of sublime. And yes, my heart. I feel like my heart was seen and heard. Very nice, very nice. All right, we jump into the next one for a little bit, so that we can get a bit of head start and finish it next time. There was Florus's profile somewhere. Ah, okay. I'm not good at navigating this game, so I'd rather it's fine. Oh, children. This is the most important part. Okay. That's fine. Let's go. Last note of the Golden Witch. Aww. That's a pretty picture of Beato and Battler. I apologize for the wait. It has been so long now, hasn't it? Today I have a souvenir from the depths of oblivion with me. Do you remember this scent? The difficulty level is high, in honor of you. Who am I? Oof. Oof! Okay. Okay.
紅茶も緑茶も茶受けがあってこそその味わいが一層に引き立つものだ。
Okay. Snack.
同感だな。
Again, talks of food in this novel. By the way, I had popcorn last night. It was exhilarating. I was like, ah! All of those Lambda references finally have come to fruition.
緑茶の渋みを楽しんだら、
That last bag, yes.
一息をつき。
Green tea's tartness. Oh my lord. I'm not sure if I know what wagashi is.
紅茶の香りを楽しんだら、洋菓子の歯ごたえを楽しむ。
It was foreshadowed, yes.
そういうテンポが双方をより楽しませてくれるわけだ。
そのご考説には大いに賛同するのだけれど、ただお茶受けというのは一つのお茶に対し一つが用意されるべきものと思うわ。
お前の言うお茶受けというのが誰のことだかは知らないが、俺はさっきから何を飲み食いしても味が全くわからん状況だというのは間違いない。
Good luck, Scream. Oh, that's cute, that's cute. If you can make it out. Oh, this tiny cam that I have. Props to you, my dude.
このソファーはもともと二人掛けであるぞ。
The food metaphors hint at Bato's true identity. Goda. Yeah. Goda Trice. Missed opportunity.
狭いとは思わぬか、バトラ。
お兄ちゃんも狭いと思う？やっぱりそうよね。一人が弾き出されるべきよね。
What is happening?
わかった。ここは俺が抜けるから、お前たちで仲良く。
お茶受けが席を立つな。
久しぶりの兄弟水入らずの時間を大切にすべきと思うわよね。
I love how Scream completely out of context misunderstood what I said. It's okay, Scream, it's okay, let it be.
バトラの後に生まれた程度で何を偉そうに。
肉親同士の私たちに比べたらあんたなんて赤の他人でしょ。
兄弟なぞ所詮は二親と。
2 degrees of blood separation with the younger. What?
わらわとバトラは夫婦であるから一親等であるぞ。
Beato has the best facial expressions, a really wide range. Sorry, a wide array of it. Yeah. Ah. 120%.
妄想幻想の中の嫁なんてシーズンごとに飛び交う肝オタどもの俺の嫁認定と何も変わらないわよ。
What is this line? What?
18にもなろうという娘がブラコンか。
Oh my god. Oh my god, what is happening? We have gone down a rabbit hole once again, just like last time. I am completely out of my element, but I more or less understand what they're saying. Ay, ay, ay.
選挙権ありで婚姻可能な一人前の大和なでしこが未だ兄離れできないとはへそで茶が湧くわ。
頼むお前ら、俺を挟んでの喧嘩は大概にしてくれ。
お兄ちゃん、その幻想嫁どっかやって。今は妹とお茶を飲んでるんでしょ。
黙れ永遠の二親と。
Without culture, it cannot. Oh man. Yeah, I guess true that. I don't know who you mean by they, but the red-headed people are actually brother and sister.
男は新しい家族を持ったら古い家族はもう他人なのだ。
For the blonde person, it's complicated. Let's just leave it at that. Let's just not go there. It's okay.
貴様には我が夫婦の客間にて
Yeah, Lord.
他人行儀にお茶を振る舞ってくれるわ。
黙って泥棒猫。
Ah, Bea found Flaurosa's profile. Okay. She has beast-like ears, an active personality, and a habit of saying daze. Yeah, Jessica does that too. That's why I was like, wait, this is a lot like Jessica speaks. She possesses terrifying powers and specializes in chewing up and burning up her summoner's enemies. Originally, she made a contract with a witch who was opposed to Beatrice, but now she cooperates with Beatrice out of respect. I see. Very cool. Yes. I don't know that many things that GM could stand for. I guess maybe that's better for me. Alright.
お兄ちゃんどいて、そいつ殺せない。
だ
から
俺を挟んで喧嘩するのは大概にしろ。
わらわからすれば逆であるぞバトラ。
何が逆なんだ。
私からすればお兄ちゃんこそ自分の左右に私たちを置いて喧嘩をさせるのをやめろってことだわ。
Genetically modified magic. Oh no, I hope not.
自分をめぐって美女が左右で奪い合ってていい気持ちなのであろう。
さも自分は被害者だなんて顔をしながらしっかり両手に花を楽しんでるわよね。
両腕に巨乳と美乳をたっぷりと楽しんで。
What is happening? What am I reading? I am so confused.
ご満悦であるな。だが大概にせよと言いたいのはこっちの方よ。
妹との時間を大切にするのか、それをないがしろにしてまで幻想嫁と妄想話がしたいのか。お兄ちゃんがはっきりさせて。
Yukishi's real roots. Yeah, I can see that. It's coming out.
ブラコンに道を誤った妹に兄離れを促すのも兄としての務めであるぞ。
お兄ちゃん、そいつをソファーから押し出して。
このソファーはわらわとバトラの水入らずソファーであるわ。
俺が出るから二人は仲良く喧嘩を。
お茶受けは席を立つな。
Having one couch for 3 people indeed made for a bustling tea time. Oh god, no, no, no. We don't need this. What is happening? No, no, no. We're fine. We're good. Jeez. Why are there multiple? Why doesn't it stop? Okay. Okay. It's a whole horde, it seems so. It's okay, Scrim, it's fine. I'm the only mod at the moment. It's alright. Yeah, it's a thing, it keeps happening from time to time, but I don't think I ever got 3 in a row. Sorry, it was 4 in a row right now. Oh well, anyway. Not worth wasting my breath over that. Right, having one couch for 3 people indeed made for a bustling tea time. Battler couldn't do anything as the front door was occupied by a witch and the back, his sister. He wanted to ask them to get along, but that would only pour oil on the fire, so he could only sit back, vaguely laugh, and pray it would end soon. In other words, what was this scenario? Battler had enough wits about him to know that this was dangerous in advance. Even if he could have tea with the witch and his sister, he couldn't do both of them at the same time. Yeah, no worries, Scrim. It's okay.
Beato,
no, I'm good. We're all chill here.
俺たちはいつからここでお茶を飲んでいる?
Yeah, good question. What is this? What's happening?
ようやく気づいたか。我らにはいつここに集って茶会を始めるに至ったか、その経緯の記憶がない。
Badger gritting her teeth and speaking through them. It is the epitome of pouting. What can I say? Scrimmage,
わかるわ、この感じ。魔女に唐突に呼び出された時はいつだってこんな感じよ。いつからここにいたのか思い出せない。この感じ。
どうやら俺たちは誰かのゲーム版の上の駒らしいな。
同感だ。となれば新しきゲームマスターは何を見たいのやら。
まさかお兄ちゃんを挟んでの私とベアとの血話喧嘩が見たかった。いるんでしょ、ベルンカステル。あなたの新しいかけらのお披露目なんでしょ。
As she is mentioned, a new witch's figure appeared with a flurry of wind surrounding them. Oh!
お前、
New characters!
ベルンカステルじゃない。
名乗られよ客人よ。ゲームマスターが誰かは知らぬが、この茶室の主はわらわであるぞ。わらわにはそなたに先に名乗らせる権利がある。
これは失礼をいたしましたです。ベアトリーチェ卿、ウィッチ・オブ・ザ・ゴールド。
He can't keep getting away with it. No, I think he can.
私の名はピース。ウィッチ・オブ・ザ・ピースと名乗るよう我が主に命ぜられました。
ピース？平和？
いや、多分チェスピースのピースだ。
駒の魔女か。なるほど。それだけでそなたの訪れた目的はおおむね理解できた。
いかにも我が主よりこのゲーム版にて皆様に挑むよう命ぜられ差し向けられた駒。
Mm-hmm. Also introduced to so many new characters, he probably got tired of naming them.
すなわち
I don't know.
資格でございます。皆様。
なるほど。俺たちとバトルがしてってわけか。だが、こっちは3人でお前は1人だ。
まさか。3人まとめてひとひねりにしてやるってこと？
訪れる者もいなくなって久しいこの猫箱に久々に客人が訪れたかと思えば、なんという傲慢。
Next one will be called Untitled One. Oh my god.
あんた、本気？
我が主からはお三人と戦えと命ぜられておりますので。
Like you've been so rich. Oh god. Wait, what happened? Okay.
幾多の猫箱の果てにここにありし我らであるぞ。それを3人まとめて相手にしようとは。
Are they having a cackling standoff now?
気に入ったぞ客人よ。そなたをここへ使わした主とやらに十分な土産話が持ち帰れるよう、完膚なきまでに徹底的に容赦のない艦隊をくれてやろうぞ。
感謝いたしますベアトリーチェ卿。それでは早速我が主の用意したかけらをご披露させていただきましょう。
どうせベルンのかけらよ。悪趣味なものに決まってるわ。
わらわも猫箱でのんびりしすぎていて少々なまっていたところよ。
ああ、少しくらい品のないかけらの方が眠気覚ましにはちょうどいいぜ。
失礼ながら我が主はベルンカステル教ではございません。
じゃあ誰だ？ラムだか？あるいはかけらの海の彼方の名もなき義書作家か？
いやしくも全能にして偉大なる感激と戯曲と傍観の魔女フェザリーヌ・アウグストゥス・アウローラ教ご自身により生み出されしかけらでございます。それでは皆々様方、これより我が主より預かりしこのかけらと、そろそろ堅苦しく振る舞うのも疲れてきましたでピース。さーて暴れ回ってやりますでピースよ。ピースピース。
Okay.
どうしてこの猫箱に来る魔女はああいうのしかいないんだ？
ゴミはゴミ箱に、おもちゃはおもちゃ箱に、ゲロカスは。
なんだよ、わらわの猫箱はいつからエチケット袋になったというのか。
そうそう、始まる前に大切なことを言い忘れていたねピース。
そうだ、勝利条件は何だ？まさかボケット干渉して400字詰め原稿用紙に10万以上の感想を書いたら勝ちなわけもあるまい。
What is this experience like, Bancho? When she finally has a voice. Also, she sounds very familiar, but I can't place it. I'm gonna have to check it later.
密室殺人のトリックを暴けか？
あるいは犯人は誰かとか。
ああ、まさにそれでピース。ベアトリーチェ教の物語に敬意を示し、同じ言い方で出題させていただきますでピース。私は誰？
なるほど。 あんたはクレルと同じ何者かの代役なのね。
何者かとは特定の一個人を示すという認識でよいのか？
問題ありませんでピース。
なあよ、その言い方の方がかえって疲れねえか。
うっせーでピースね。
Back to question mark.
ガッピにスキピに喋ってピースってんならそっちでもピーでピースでピースピースピース。
I'm curious, how does this feel, Bancho? Experiencing this character with voice.
お兄ちゃん、謝って。
それでは始めてもらおうか。久しぶりのかけらを。
それでは開幕でピース。
Okay. Oh, we get an intro? Fair. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Oh, that's so pretty. What the heck? A storm was over Rokkenjima. How many times have we read that sentence or equivalent sentences? However, warm light was overflowing from the Ushiramiya family dining room. Oh, Halloween party.
Happy Halloween!
A Christmas cracker was pulled and a sound rang out as skins of the head of the family appeared in a hat styled after a jack-o'-lantern. It was greeted with thunderous applause and smiles by the other members of the Ushiramiya family. The oldest son Kraus's family, Kraus, Natsuhi, and Jessica. The oldest daughter Eva's family, Eva, Hideyoshi, and George. The second son's family, Rudolf, Kirie, and Battler. And also Enje. The second daughter's family, Rosa and Maria. And finally the servants, Genji, Shannon, Kanon, Goda, and Kumasawa. And furthermore, the advising alchemist to the Ushiramiya family battle.
これはお兄ちゃんが私に見せたあのトワイライトのハロウィンパーティーと同じ状況ね。
なるほど。エンジェが腹痛を起こさずに出席できた1986年の親族会議というわけであるか。
ピース、この人間たち全員で仲良く記念写真を撮ったらちゃんと全員写るんだろうな。
上映中のピツマンを受け付けないでピース。まずはごゆっくりご鑑賞を。
Okay.
さ そろそろ私の登場でピースよ。盛大なピースでお迎えをでピース。
Around the time of the fun Halloween party, the ocean was surging against the cliffs and that spray violently scattered about. Is she coming out of the sea like a different type of Erika Kraken? Jesus Christ. Beneath those waves, something glowing a faint blue could be seen. That small blue light was a fragment within a bottle. It was violently slammed into the rocks by the waves and shattered into pieces. In time with the thunder, the faint glimmer released from the bottle began to fly about like a swarm of butterflies. The sight of them flying about in the storm was a curious thing. Heading towards the Ushiromiya Manor, by the rose garden, they form into the figure of a witch. It is an assassin sent from the sea of fragments for tonight's tragedy. A piece. It is Erika. And now peace. Okay. I mean, it's very similar. It's obviously the first comparison that anyone's going to draw. Who am I? Erika, rolls credits. Despite how she was dressed, the Witch of Pieces looked pathetic as she was battered by the violent winds. Any sort of umbrella would be flipped inside out. The witch's skirt is no different. What would this fool of a witch be able to do, besides acting goofy? However, the three who accepted her challenge did not show the slightest sign of being amused. Because they know that the more witches act like this, the more brutal they will be. But in that sense, everybody was already used to run-of-the-mill killing methods. Even while asking themselves what that means for their humanity, Battler and Enja are nonchalantly preparing for the tragedy. Only Beto was excited for it as she ate potato chips. The door was locked, but that had no meaning for a witch. But when she touched the doorknob to open the door, static electricity sparked and she drew her hand back. Peace was again stretched out her hand. But the result was the same. Once more, her fingertip was repelled. Laughing indulgently, she tried to open the door several times but couldn't. It seemed to be particularly strong, a particularly strong barrier. At the very least, it looked like the Witch of Pieces couldn't break it. Peace, while pretending to gracefully shelter from the rain under the eaves of the entrance vestibule for the time being, thought about what to do next, with an impish smile on her face. It's okay, Moth-chan, take your time.
Beatrice-sama. 気づいておるわ。お前に教えられねば気づかぬほど酔ってはおらぬぞ。
様子を見てまいります。
捨ておけ。ここは六軒島、悪食島よ。
Aw, Scrim! Aw, it's nice to have you around. Thank you for coming by.
この嵐の中、わずかにこぼれる明かりにおびき寄せられる悪霊などいくらでもおろう。それに今の感触は結界が触れられただけで破られたものではない。シャノンのシールドはそうたやすくは破れぬ。わらわが一番よく知っておるわ。
恐縮です。今宵の結界は後宮家に初縁なき者には 決して破ることのできないものです。
そうではあっても触れてきただけで不愉快だな。
そうカリカリするな。シャノンの結界は強力に機能しておる。今宵は肩の力を抜いて楽しめ。仮に結界を破るほどの化け物のお出ましならば、わらわが喜んでお相手させてもらおうぞ。お前に獲物を譲ったりなどせぬわ。カノンくん、シャノンも。
ブレーコーだよ。お仕事モードをオフにはできないかい？
ほれ、そう仰せだぞ。
かしこまりました。
That rare canon expression. Hi.
ルドルフ様、キリエ様、どちらへ？
ああ、ちょいと一服の気分転換さ。
外は風が大層強うございます。灰皿を用意いたしますので、客室でおくつろぎになられては。
ありがとう、源氏さん。私たちって天の弱なの。
普段は暖かなお屋敷に憧れるくせに、そこでのんびりしてると、今度はわざわざ嵐の中で一服したくなっちまうもんなのさ。玄関には立派なひさしがあったろ。吹き込むようならすぐに戻ってくるさ。
魔女のかけらって実にご都合主義ね。生贄羊が都合よくそっちから勝手に出てきてくれるなんてね。
そういうチープなのはゲームマスターとしてはどうかと思うぜ。
これで屋敷の結界は破れずとも獲物を得ることはできるというわけだ。
あとはうまいこと犠牲者たちを屋敷の外へおびき出せばいい。
ピースが屋敷の外に犠牲者が出てくるのを待ち受ける殺人鬼なのか。
Every time I see her. I'm sorry if my emote is giving you that feeling. Oh, Mo-chan. Pet pets. Pet pets.
それともそういう狂言なのかはまだわからないけれどね。
なるほど。ルドルフとキリエが不審者に襲われたと言ってもそれを鵜呑みにはできんな。
それにしたって最初に襲われるのはどうやらうちの親父とキリエさんのようだ。どんな悪趣味な殺し方を披露してくれるやらだぜ。
ベルーンカステルの品のない虐殺ショーで慣れてるわ。
Angel's brow twisted in a grimace. Battler's calm facade was surely difficult to maintain. For Battle, this was nothing more than a show, so who exactly was killed didn't matter. But if the first victims of the scenario were killed for no other purpose but to make Battler uncomfortable, she would never forgive it.
ピースとやら、そなたはおそらくは演者で、かけらを紡いだ偽書作家ではないのだろうが、ただの品のないグロテスクショーであるならば。
あるならば
そなたらの好む流儀に従い腹を引き裂いてその中身のすべてを引きずり出してくれる。
We're back to the guts. You can never escape the guts, can you?
私の殺し方はとっても上品でピスよ。誤解しないでどうかご期待をでピ
I think she makes me think at least a little bit of Sparkle from Honkai. She has that kind of madness, I guess. Oh no, no, Bancho, please stay with us.
こんな嵐でもやっぱり外の空気は美味しいわね。
Is this maybe a good place to make a save and leave it for next time, or should we go a little bit more? What do we say? Cheap stands for ghost. No, please don't be a ghost. We want you here. We can stop here? Okay. Alright. I have never done this before, but I guess I can make a save. And is already here, I guess. I don't know. I haven't used the save system in this before, so I'll just... Hi! I'm guessing you're asking me to overwrite. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Good place to stop. Okay, great, great. Then let's leave it here. And yeah, we will pick it up from here next time. Yay. I hope it fits in one stream, but I mean, if it doesn't, we will just have to push through because we can't slice it up further than that. So yeah. There we go. Here we are. Peace. She is entertaining though. I will give her that. At least she's making me laugh. Yeah. No, thank you all. This wouldn't be all of these fun times wouldn't be possible without you. Yeah, thank you for being there. And yeah, once again, thank you for helping me set everything up so that I can end up reading this in the first place. So yeah. And basically, next stream will be the last stream of Umineko story-wise. Is that it? Am I right? Now I should pull for Spark. last note. Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, end of an era. Yeah. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with myself after that. I guess I'll have to figure it out. The one, some entity residing in Portugal might say. The last one. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's alright. Umineko will keep living within us from here until the end of our days. It will never leave. Yeah, we'll get there. For 4th of June. 4th of June, mark it in your calendar. It will happen. It's settled, we have a date. Yeah. Excitement. Yeah. Yeah. I'm also curious to embark on a new adventure, let's say, a new story. Something completely different for a change of pace. It's just very difficult once I spend so much time with these characters to just be like, okay, this is it, it's done. I'm still not used to the idea. I guess I've been coping because we've had these few follow-up streams. So it's kind of like, it's not really over yet, but actually it is kind of ending, and so I kind of have to actually start letting go. Vibe is very different, much more muted. Yes, please. I do need that in my life too. After something so tumultuous and big and larger than life like Umineko is, I very much appreciate something chiller and more subdued and understated. I'll take that. I'm curious. Let's go. Yeah. Read the Umi manga. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Now that I have a tablet, it will be very comfy to just read it. I can go to the balcony, have a nice drink, chill, feel the sun. Yeah, that would be nice. Ah, goddamn. I forgot what name it is. It's a Xiaomi pad something. I forgot. Six. Xiaomi Pad 6. That's what it is. Lots of cute stuff in the manga. Okay. Lots of sadness in the manga too, right? Yeah. It comes in the same package. It cannot be. You cannot take one away from the other. The cuteness, the joy, the sadness, and the despair, all together. Yeah. What can you do? Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's actually quite handy. I took it because of I got it because of the travel to Bucharest. I needed something to play Honkai on. Let's like just say the truth. That was mainly the point. But actually, I use it around the house all the time now, and it's very comfortable. So I like. Yeah. I'm happy with my investment. And it actually helps a lot with researching stuff for cosplay too. I did that on it. And it's much nicer than a phone because it's bigger, so I can see the details better. And at the same time, it's mobile, so I can like move it and maybe put it in a corner somewhere, have it as a reference or something. It's cool. It works out. Yeah. But yeah, for tonight, this will be it. Thank you so much for joining. As per usual, without you, this would never be as much fun as it always is. So I appreciate you. You are wonderful. Take care of yourselves, and we will finish last note next time. And it will be the last proper story Umineko stream. I don't know how many showdowns Bancho and I will have in the fighting game. That's also a thing that will happen. I guess it will be another one of my coping things that's not really over. But story-wise, next time is not just the one, it is the last one. So yeah, let's go. Until then, I wish you a nice weekend. Take care of yourselves. Do all a couple hundred, okay. Do all the good healthy stuff for yourselves. It's starting to be warm outside, so like maybe go get some vitamin D and blend with nature a little bit. It's nice both for your body and for your heart. Yeah, and I will see you again Tuesday. Until then, peace. Bye bye. Good night.